Oh hi! Today we're going to learn how to play Star Realms. Star Realms has a tutorial in 4 different parts, and all parts are guided. So I'm going to let the tutorial do most of the talking and then chime in with my thoughts at the end.
Welcome to the Star Realms tutorial. The objective of Star Realms is to defeat your opponent by reducing his authority, currently set at 50 to 0. To accomplish this, you have to play cards from your hand. Every turn, you will draw 5 cards from your deck into your hand. At the end of every turn, your cards will be moved to your discard pile. When your deck runs out of cards, your discard pile will be shuffled to form your new deck. You can zoom in on a card by clicking it. Try zooming in on your leftmost card, the Viper. The Viper gives you 1 combat, which is what you use for attacking your opponent and their bases. Now dismiss the Viper by clicking on it. Now play the Viper by dragging it into the empty space on top of it. Notice your combat increased. Use your combat to attack your opponent by double-clicking. When you reduce your opponent's authority to 0, you win. Try zooming in on your rightmost card by clicking on it. The Scout card gives you 1 trade. Trade is used to acquire new cards. New cards you acquire first go into your discard pile. When your deck runs out of cards, the cards in your discard pile are then shuffled into your deck. Dismiss the Scout. Tap the Play All button. Playing the Scouts has increased your trade to 4. Trade can be used to acquire cards in the center trade row. Zoom in on the trade bot in the trade row. You can zoom in on a card by clicking it. The trade cost to acquire a card is indicated in the top right. Dismiss the trade bot. Acquire the trade bot by dragging it to your discard pile. Note that you paid 1 trade to acquire the trade bot. Now, acquire an Explorer.
I personally think Explorers are useless in the main game, but we'll buy one during the tutorial because it tells us to.
Click End Turn in the bottom right to end your turn.
So that's the basics of Star Realm. It's a 2-player deck builder. It's unique in that it has combat and life points, but other than that, it's a pretty standard deck builder. You use cards to purchase other cards or attack your opponent. The cards you purchase generally are better. They have more abilities, they have better attack, they give you more gold to buy future cards that are even better, have more attack, and you kind of build your deck as you go and draw a new hand of 5 cards every turn.
Zoom in on your opponent's barter world. You can zoom in on a card by clicking it. This is a base. Bases stay in play until the opponent destroys them with combat equal to the number in their shield on the bottom right. Dismiss the barter world. Zoom in on the junkyard. This base is an outpost. Notice the black shield on the bottom right. Outposts must be destroyed before you can attack your opponent or their other bases.
I really like this base system. Bases are cards that stay out in front of you the whole game until they're destroyed. Bases can be normal bases or outposts. If it's an outpost, it kind of acts as a shield for everything. Your outpost bases must be destroyed first. And as you can see by the barter world that we saw earlier, the different bases can give you different types of effects.
Dismiss. Click Play All. You must attack the junkyard first because it is an outpost. Attack it by double-clicking on it. Use your remaining combat on your opponent. Zoom in on your ram. Some cards may be scrapped for an effect. This is indicated by the trash can icon on the card. Dismiss the ram. Scrap your ram for 3 trade by clicking on it and then selecting that ability. Now that you've scrapped the ram, acquire the Port of Call.
So, scrapping is really cool and very powerful, and it's an interesting decision of when you scrap something, because it removes it permanently from your deck. But as you can see here, we got a pretty good upgrade card by sacking and scrapping our card for 3 extra gold. That also trims down our deck, so we'll never draw that attack card again. And there are cards that have abilities that let you scrap other cards that we'll get to in a second.
Some cards force players to discard a card. Discard the Scout in your hand by clicking on it, and then confirming it by clicking Select in this dialog. Zoom in on your trade bot. This card has an ally ability, notice the faction symbol, that gets activated by a ship or base of the same faction. It also allows you to scrap weaker cards in your deck so that you can draw your better cards. Dismiss the trade bot. Play the trade bot. In order to finish playing the trade bot, scrap the Scout in the discard pile. Play the missile bot. Scrap the Scout in your hand. The 2 machine cult cards trigger each other's ally abilities. Attack your opponent with your new combat.
So, as you can see, scrapping is really important. We're never going to see those 2 scouts again. They're gone from our deck forever, and as a result, we have a much leaner deck. When we acquire new cards, we're going to have a better chance of drawing those cards because we're getting rid of the bad cards in our deck. We also learned about allies and ally abilities. There are 4 different factions in Star Realms. Red, green, blue, and yellow, and they have thematic names tied to them. Red focuses on scrapping cards. Yellow focuses on forcing your opponent to discard. Green focuses on just a lot of damage very quickly. And blue focuses on replenishing your authority and giving you more life points. Star Realms kind of rewards you for sticking to a strategy. A lot of the allies and the factions play off each other. So as you can see in that tutorial, both our red cards had attack bonuses triggered because there were additional red cards played. So in future turns, it would make sense for us to keep buying more red cards.
Play the Hive. Now play the Blob Fighter in order to trigger the card's ally abilities. Zoom in on your cutter. You can zoom in on it. Some cards increase your authority, the number in the green symbol. Remember, when you run out of authority, you lose. Dismiss the cutter. Play the cutter. Notice your authority and trade increase. Play out the Blob World. Zoom in on your blob. When you activate Blob World, you will have to choose which ability to use. Dismiss the Blob World. Activate your Blob World by clicking it and choosing which ability to use. Play all your cards. Now defeat your opponent.
So some great fanfare when you win. As you can see, the blob are very powerful together. A lot of abilities and ally abilities increase extra damage. If you're paying close attention, you notice I could have just activated the Blob World for 5 damage and hit my opponent for 11, which would have killed him. But I really wanted to see what would happen if I drew some cards, and they throw the ram in there, so you win anyway. The Blob is a very powerful faction. It does a lot of damage quickly and has a lot of ways to draw cards, it's a very potent combination of damage quickly and refilling your hand, getting extra scouts, extra gold to buy more powerful cards in the same turn. Like in this turn, I have seven gold available to buy. I could buy that Blob Carrier if the game was still going on, which is a very powerful card. So that's Star Realms. I really like it. It's a very quick playing 2-player deck builder. It feels more interactive than Dominion does because you're attacking your opponent. If you really dig down, it's still pretty solitaire-ish. You're building the best deck you can, you're trimming your deck of bad cards, you're getting more powerful cards, and as you do that, you're just kind of dealing damage along the way. But yeah, it's one of my favorites, and it's a great game. Give it a try. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, or subscribe. You can find Cheese Viking Games all over the web at Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, YouTube, and CheeseVikingGames.com.